everyone, it's Stephanie 1111 Witchy Babe, and I am back today with Cancer's reading for this month of May. Again, I'm sorry guys, sorry I'm so late, but I'm trying to balance out the my schedule regarding my personal readings and the collective readings, because I'm having kind of a difficulty making sure I keep up on time with both, because you guys are amazing. I've had so many people reach out to me and book readings with me. I'm still just trying to get a good equilibrium there, so I'm working on it. I'm hoping June I have all of your stuff out and ready to you by mid-May. To be honest, that is what my goal is. So welcome back, all of my subscribers. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support and comments, and all of so many of you that have reached out to book with me. It's amazing. I would like to welcome you if you are new and just finding this video now. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and I'm an intuitive tarot reader. And I'm here to give you messages and activations and help you along your way this month. So I hope you enjoy it and stick around and decide this is, and if you like it, please subscribe before you leave, so that way you can make sure you get my stuff regularly as I post it. So reminder, this is a general energy reading. This reading is not going to resonate with everyone, and it is, you know, I'm not here to make anybody feel bad or anxious. I am here for those that need the messages and know that they are for them. So take only what you know is for you. Leave everything else behind. The other thing is that what was I gonna say? I totally just lost my train of thought. Anyway, check out the description box below for where to find me on social medias, etc., etc. You'll notice that I have included my email address. I want to apologize. There's been quite a few of you that reached out to me through email over the last year, and I was not checking that email address. I was still using an old email address whenever the name was 1111 Tarot Babe. So, I apologize. I've missed your emails. I'm so sorry, but now I'm back on that. If you want to reach out to me to inquire about booking readings and you don't have the social medias I'm on, like my Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, then you can feel free to use the email. If you want to inquire about any business stuff, use the email, please. And I think that is about it. 1111witchybabe.com to book. Let's go ahead. So if you are new, or even if you're a subscriber, I have changed the readings a bit if you haven't checked out the other signs that have been posted. I am now also adding in a love and relationship specific section of the reading, which will be at the end. So I'm including in that, and then the regular reading will just be like normal. It will be whatever information you need to hear that will help you with your month. That's what will be coming out for you. So let's dive on in. We have our card of the day, which is the Santa Muerta from the Santa Muerta deck. And the message that came with that is that you have something in your life that is needing to go. Like, you know it's needing to go. You've been knowing for a long time that you needed to change this situation or this mindset or an issue, and you know what I'm talking about right now as I'm talking about it. You absolutely know what it is. Now you might be trying to be like, oh, I don't know, am I just making it about that? But it's gonna literally be your first thought. If this is for you, this message is made and designed to trigger the thought within you of what you are needing to change, because you have a massive transformation that is on the cusp that you have been building up to for a while, and this is the last little bit of it. But in order to get on that transformative ride, you need to pay the price, and the price is letting go of whatever this is that is not serving your highest interest at this point. It needs to go. It needs to go deep into the ground and be gone, be done with. Now, this can be anything from a relationship to a job situation. It could be big things like that. It could be something smaller in regards to your daily routine, exercise, diet, you know, watching too much TV, whatever it is. Even if it's something small, it's significant enough to be blocking you from this transformation continuing to push through. So you don't need to mess. I've had 3 people message me, because I put this on Twitter this morning when I got the message about how, you know, could it be this? Because that's not like a big thing. And I'm like, it's absolutely. It's made and designed to trigger immediately when you are hearing it what it's about. And so whatever you thought of, that is what you're needing to address. And you've already been talking about it with yourself for some time. So it's nothing new. It's just something that you really don't want to do. But you have to, because it's going to be a snowball effect for a lot of other changes that will finally be able to come in because you finally made that shift. Okay, so I'm going to be diving on in. So the general reading, we are going to be using the Cosmic Tarot. Fantastic deck. Highly recommend it, especially if you're on a budget. It's like $10, $11, and it's such a good quality. Highly recommend it. It's a beautiful deck. Also going to be using the Work Your Light and the Karma cards. Let's see what's going on with Cancer energy for this month. What's going on, guys? Cancer placements. Oh, I didn't tell you. Okay, so if you're new, this is going to be Cancer placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and I am now including North Node as I have been pushed and shoved to by my guides. I said I need to start including North Nodes, so make sure you're checking out your other placements. You don't know what I'm talking about, head into my description box for a couple of options of free websites to generate your natal chart. While you're there, you can check out my Facebook groups and all that information that is in the description box. All the other places to find me online. What's going on with Cancer energy? Princess of Cups. Nice. Okay. So you guys might be embodying the Princess of Cups energy this month. You're going to be very intuitive. I mean, I've been telling you that you are just going through these massive intuitive changes. So this Santa Muerta card could definitely have to do with an evolution in your spiritual gifts, with the Princess of Cups being here. You do have some sort of message that's going to be coming through to you in the month of May. This is going to more than likely be an intuitive download or a message received in dream state, but you also, some of you might be receiving a message, a physical message regarding a partner. I just heard regarding an emotional situation, so it could vary. But if you are waiting for a message from someone, there could be a message coming through. I don't feel like that's many of you, to be honest. Most of you are, this is a message that's coming through via dream state, via like meditative state, or even through whatever gifts that you have. This is a spiritual message, but some of you are receiving a physical message from somebody that you've been waiting from, and others are going to be receiving a physical message regarding an emotional topic. And you're going to be very connected to your intuition this month, like I said, but also into whatever type of artistic gifts and talents that you have. You're going to be feeling really pulled to focus in on that. I just heard transmutation. So there's going to be something you're going to be transmuting through either your intuitive, whatever type of practice you do. So if you have some sort of practice, if you're into witchcraft, something like that, or you are going to be creating art in whatever form you do that, and you're going to be transmuting some energy that way. Okay, let's see what else is going on. The Six of Wands, but it's reversed. I feel like what you are actually transmuting, what you're working on this month, is going to be in regards to your ego. So our ego is something that is necessary. I personally don't believe in ego death. I know other people do. That's great for them. However, I believe our ego is a part of being a human, and it's a part of the lessons of being on Earth, being an incarnate on Earth, is to work with the ego and working on how to tame it. And I do believe that that's what's happening. You're going to be learning how to transmute some of the negative aspects of the ego through your art, through your intuitive gifts, through meditative and dream states, and just learning more how to work with it, how to make it work for you instead of working against you, which is a lot of times what the ego does. So the ego is not just, when we think of ego, a lot of times we're thinking of somebody that's egotistical, so somebody that's really full of themselves, right? But the ego is that voice that will build you up, but it will build you up in order to destroy you. It will build you up so then you turn into that egotistical asshole, and people don't like you, people don't want to work with you, you have a difficult time, getting things done because of the energy that you're exuding. The ego will also destroy you. It will tear you down. It will tell you that you're awful and horrible and that you're not good enough, and et cetera, which is why it's really important to keep it under control. And be able to identify whenever it's the one that's trying to navigate what you're going to do. So the ego does a lot of things, I would say most things, based out of fear. And that's why I say it's important, because the ego, fear is important to a degree. Fear helps us keep us alive. Fear keeps us, it's needed as a human. There are things that we should be fearful of, like running out in the street and getting hit by a car, right? So it's important to keep it in check. And it's important to be able to understand when it's the ego speaking versus your intuition, your higher self, your guides, etc. So that's what I think you're working on this month, is really getting in tune with that. Some of you also, that if you are going to be receiving a message from somebody, this is probably going to be a potentially, I'm getting a strong Leo, also Sagittarius, but also could be Aries and Aries. Could be any of the fire signs. I don't know why I was thinking for a second that I was missing somebody. Okay, I have the Five of Swords. Yeah, okay. I just feel like you're really, it's like this understanding of the ego and like a small ego death per se. I really get that here. But also when we're talking about this potential contact from somebody, if it's a message regarding, I feel like any way this message comes in, it's going to cause a little bit of conflict. Anytime we have these shifts, anytime we have these slight ego deaths or we have these changes of perspective, it generally comes with something that makes us uncomfortable first, something that is upsetting. With the Five of Swords, I really relate that to a lot of mental, when it's just one person, a lot of mental stress, a lot of mental fighting, back and forth thoughts, conflicting thoughts. So I feel like you're gonna, this is a warning that you can handle this. I'm actually being given an example of myself a couple days ago where I was having like this really weird emotional and physical like meltdown purge type thing, and I just felt awful, and like I called out to my guides for help and assistance, and that's all it took. That's all it took. And as soon as I called out to them to try to help me see this in a different way and to relieve some of the physical aspects of what was happening with the purge, it was like just something melted over my body. And they immediately, messages started coming in trying to help me understand what was happening. The physical stuff started to fade away. And I started to cry, and it was this understanding, and then it was like, okay, leveling up. And every time I have this level up, that's exactly how, not exactly, but that's very similar to how the situations go. You're confronted with something, and sometimes it's not even anything. Sometimes it's just an emotion, a feeling, an energy that you're facing, and it's making you feel all kinds of ways. And you have to learn how to pull yourself up into a higher perspective, and sometimes you need to ask for help. I needed to ask for help, ask my guides for help, and that's what we always tell you. Any reader that you see will tell you the message is always, your guides want to help you, but you need to ask them, because we live in a free will environment. They cannot assist without us asking. So if you have a difficult time and you're really kind of stuck in a dark space, ask them for help. It doesn't have to be a dark space for a long time. I literally was thrown into it for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I just thought I saw somebody standing right here. So I wonder who's here. Somebody's here. Sorry, that got me distracted. Now I'm like want to see if I can try to tap into who's here with me, but it's probably one of my guides. Anyway, so you, even if you're in that type of a situation, and it doesn't have to be where you're down for a long time, if you start to feel it coming on, ask for their help, like I was saying, I was only, it hit me so fast, and I was in the what I call like a dark space and having a difficult time for maybe like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm out. Like, I need help. And that's totally fine, because then you're gonna get to the same point anyway. You just don't necessarily need to extend it if they can assist you with getting that higher perspective and understand what's happening and why and what you need to do going forward. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's do some oracles. And when I talk about the physical symptoms, just in case any of you are curious, it does vary and depend. But what I notice is sometimes I will feel this, like I'll get a very bad headache. And it's a particular type of headache where I can tell I'm being like inundated with energy. Very bad headache, nausea, feeling a little bit, just feeling very off, like I can't focus. Feeling very anxious, very, very like there's something big. That's usually when I can tell there's a lot of energy being, like a lot of information coming in, a lot of energy present, and there's some sort of huge shift coming. And so when I get that, even though I can recognize it, it's still, I'm somebody I'm a big baby when it comes to physical stuff and being physically uncomfortable. I'm a Taurus sun. I don't like being uncomfortable. And so I, immediately kind of start freaking out. So even as many times as it's happened to me, I start to freak out. And so if you have any of those experiences and you've ruled out, of course, please rule out anything medical being wrong with you. That can be a sign of downloads and shifts and purges. Okay, let's see what else is going on for Cancer placements for the month of May. So we have the South Node. Wow, so you guys this is a big purge. This is a big release. The South Node is your karmic past. It's your karmic debt. Is the energy that you have mastered in previous lives, and you are now being called to step away from it and use the positive aspects of that energy in order to help you with your North Node goals now. And so you can take a look at your chart, your natal chart if you want, and you can see where your South Node and your North Node are to help you see where you might have details on what this is, what they're asking you to do. But I'll give an example, the only one I can give, which is me. My South Node is Leo, my North Node is Aquarius, and my South Node is in the 3rd house, my North Node is in the 9th house. So when I have to transmute my South Node energy and use it in its best benefit towards my North Node energy, it's me making sure that I take all my communicative skills and all of my Leo, pay attention to me, star energy, and using that for the collective and not for myself. Using it for the collective to share the information and spread the information and to access higher realms of information for my own development that I then can process through and be able to bring it to the collective in a way that's understandable and easy to digest. And so you can take a look at your chart and you can take a look at your placements and, you know, take some time. If you don't really know much about astrology, it will probably be pretty overwhelming, but you can work through it, or you can book a reading with an astrologer, but and seeing how you can use that energy this month, your North and South Node energy, to make shifts. We also have the North Node shifting, I believe, signs this month. So like, I thought it was any day now, if it's not today. So that's also interesting as well. You can see how the transit nodes are currently impacting your chart as well. That's something I would recommend for all of my astrology enthusiasts and astrologers watching. Okay, so, but this is a big release. It's a release and a level up. Let's get one last bit, and then we're going to go over to the love and relationship portion. Wow, I really talk way too much, guys, huh? Do I talk too much? Oh, well. So we have protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. Yeah, so that's something you need to do. And that probably has a huge thing with the Santa Muerte card, because you know what, a lot of the times, especially my viewers, you guys are vibing on a similar vibration as myself. You are somebody that is going to attract a lot of moths to your light, and so you need to cut back those ties. You need to not allow everybody to have access to you. You need to set boundaries and keep them, and you need to not feel like a bad person for doing so. Believe me, every day I have to set multiple boundaries with multiple people, or else I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I would be drained and just sick. I would be physically sick. So you need to set boundaries, because maybe you are leveling up into a space where you aren't going to be able to handle it either. You're not going to be able to be there for everyone at all times. You're not going to be able to dump your energy into certain people that don't return the energy back. You're not going to be able to be in that friendship with that friend that, you know, seems to just use you. You're not going to be able to do it. Your soul is going to make it so hard for you to stay in that situation. So before it does that for you, go ahead and just cut the cord now. Look at the areas of your life where you need to take back your power and where you need to keep your boundaries, and take care of it now before it ends up pushing you where you end up doing something that's kind of outside of your norm in order to cut those ties and burn that bridge down. Because that's what will happen. That's what, you know, people that do these crazy things that's totally out of their norm, it's generally getting them out of a situation that they really never wanted to be in, and it's like this, let me just burn it down. And I don't know if that's everyone, but I have seen that throughout a lot of different people that I have met and talked to in different situations where they're suddenly acting in a different way. And then it's like, oh wow, like that was something you wanted to get rid of for a while, huh? But then you like waited until you just got pushed to your limit and exploded. You don't have to do that. Just cut it now. Okay. Sorry, I do this sometimes where I don't start it with the ones in the back. Okay. Let's go to the love and relationship. What's going to go on for Cancer placements for the month of May regarding love and relationships? Now remember guys, I'm mainly going to be looking at people that are either single or in very difficult connections. If you're in a happy relationship, the messages might not be for you, but you can always hang on and pay attention in case something does come out. Magician in reverse. Oh my goodness. Who are you dealing with? So you guys are going to be, you're dealing with somebody that's very manipulative. Now there's somebody that actually has a lot of power, which is why they're able to manipulate so well, but they're not using their power the way that they should. They're being very manipulative. Not good. Not good. So what's going on with your manipulator? Ooh, they don't really know what's going on. They don't know what's going on themselves. They're stuck. They're stuck with deciding what's their future is going to be like. So if you're dealing with somebody and you're not in communication, they're still in this space of like very confused about what the future is going to be for them. They can't really see it. Everything's cloudy. They're very indecisive. I just heard that somebody's drinking a lot. They're drinking a lot because like I think this, like the quarantine and everything has really messed with their head. And they were so caught up in the 3D when the 3D had shifts that were different than they're used to. It really messed with them. Like they're very fragile in that way. They weren't able to accept those shifts like maybe you have. The Prince of Pentacles, yeah, I think it's regarding work. Like because of work stuff, it's made them just really not good energy. So they're stuck right now. They're very like, they aren't seeing any, like they're just like focused. I'm seeing somebody that's like just stuck in a corner. That's the best way. Like if you just, you put a kid in a corner for a timeout or something, this is like a grown person stuck in a corner and like continue to try to push through it and not seeing like, hey, you got to turn around if you want to walk away from the corner. You can't push through the wall. You got to turn around. But they're not seeing it like that. So I feel like what this person's doing, yeah, that's exactly it. What this person's doing is they are refusing this shift that is happening as a collective. They don't want it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want it. And this time out that they've had with the quarantine, they're still super focused on the physical, on the 3D, on getting things back to how they used to be. They're so focused on getting things back to how they used to be. They aren't seeing what they could be going forward, how they could be better going forward. So they're very stuck. But this person's like a master manipulator. Okay, what's going on for you guys though regarding it? So you guys have universal support. You have your guides, the universe. These are gigantic cards. I had no idea they were so big. The universe is supporting you. They are wanting, they're supporting you. They're supporting this person. They're wanting you to focus on your own thing. And that's why I think this month is, I wouldn't expect any necessary contact for majority of you if you're waiting for contact from somebody, from this person this month. Because, you have this big shift of your own that you're dealing with, and you have this growth, and they're having their own thing where they need to kind of get themselves out of the rut that they're currently in and see things from a different perspective. And so you both are being supported by your guides and by the universe to process that. And while that's happening, a connection is not the top priority. Trust your timeline. Yes. One, you need to trust. I feel with this, it's like you really need to trust in the universe or in the divine timing of things. That if this situation is meant to be, it will come when it is time. And right now, while you're in this shift, it's not time because you need to focus in on what you're going through. But you need to also trust that I think some of you have had kind of a feel about this connection and when it will play out, and you need to trust in that feeling. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be absolutely accurate on the exact time, exact date, etc., etc. I mean, that's something that even because time is fluid and things shift and change because we are a free will planet and we are free will people. The future is always going to be a potential of multiple different outcomes. And so even the best of psychics and stuff, they don't always can give you a date and a time, and because we're free will. So at any point we can have the free will to just not do the things that we are really being pushed and guided to do and just do nothing, right? So I feel like you need to to trust in your inner knowing of what's happening, in regards to the timing of the situation, and trust that divine timing is working for you. It's not working against you. And also trust that if this is what's supposed to happen in your timeline, like if this is who's supposed to be in your world going forward, they will. Compatibility issues. Okay, so you guys, some part of this, I believe, with the compatibility issues is because look at the huge difference between you two as people. You have you showing up in your general reading about how you're going through all these intuitive downloads and shifts and this you know, higher understanding and more bonding with your own soul. And then we have this person who's like stuck in the mud, you know, on like what, Spirituality 101, still not even able to get over that course, because they're still wanting to go back to how things used to be. They don't want to face this new energetic shift. So there's a compatibility issue with where your energies are at right now, which is why a union at this time is not something that would be in either of your best interests, because they need, this person's guides need to help, is focusing on helping them get out of this rut, and your guides are focusing on helping you excel during this shift that you're going through energetically. So not the month that I'm telling you guys that some of you are getting contact. I do believe that some of you are getting some sort of message from somebody. You know, some of you might be getting contacted by this individual. I believe that most of you aren't. That's mainly going to be intuitive downloads, dream state downloads, via gifts, or a message that comes through regarding something that is emotionally based. So that could be a friend, that could be a family member. You know, we are currently, Venus is going into retrograde very soon. We're in the shadow, and there's a lot of stuff coming up for a lot of people. Pluto is in retrograde, so there's a lot of stuff coming up for people. So you might be kind of that shoulder to cry on and lean on for somebody else that's going through it. But you guys, you're gonna be good. You know, love life wise, for all my people that are single, this is not a time that somebody's going to be necessarily coming in. If you're single and you're not dealing with somebody, you're not waiting for somebody, this is basically me again just saying like, hey, right now is not a time for relationship stuff. It's a time to focus in on what you're doing, how you're changing. And one thing that you're going to need to address if you are single is that part of you is not okay. There's a couple things. If you focus in a lot on these type of readings about, you know, and you're wondering, when am I going to find my person? When am I going to find my person? And you watch a lot of stuff like this, you read it a lot. This card always comes out when myself or people that I'm working with have been pushing too much on the spiritual aspect about their love life. And it's like, hey, not everything in this world is about you and who you're going to end up, you know, being with. Like, there's so much more than just that. And that you need to use your gifts in a different way. So this is always my note, that I need to time out on whatever I keep pushing at, you know, stop listening to the readings, stop doing the readings, and focus in on something different. The other thing that can come up with that, remember I talked about manipulation, dealing with a manipulator. If you know you're manipulative in relationships, then this is something you can work on during this time. That you can work on releasing along with whatever else you need to release. Maybe that is what you need to release, because you're getting a little bit of a call out. Only if it resonates though, you'll know. Okay, so that's going to be your reading, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, you know, what's going on with you. I, again, appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate everything. If you did enjoy the reading, please make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that notification bell on so you can see all my readings when they come out. And I'm hoping you have a fantastic day whenever this reading finds you. I will see you all next time.